What's the best way to maximize profits in a handyman business? Well, I done tried a bunch of different ways. And I got two that are like, they're pretty much, to me, the best ways to do it. One is you're the jack of all trades, right? Which, I mean, it's kind of what we all are, but you are the professional jack of all trades. It's a little different. And the second way is that you gotta specialize in something. You can still do a lot of different jobs, but you gotta be a specialist at something. Let's get into it. First things first, we gotta tackle this one thing, all right? It's controversial in our industry. Should you call yourself a handyman, or should you put that in the title of your business, or whatever, all right? And this spans on both sides of the discussion. Historically, the title handyman has not been considered a benefit to have in your title. It's just realistically, like, you just think about it, this is being in all honesty, you think about it like this. You got a ceiling fan. Let's go with the classic ceiling fan discussion. Customer has a ceiling fan they need to put up. They can call an electrician or they can call a handyman. Why would they call a handyman instead of an electrician? Come on. Of course, because they think they can get it for cheaper. The same job for a cheaper price. That's the history of the handyman. There's only been a short period of time where there are these professional handyman is a thing. Like, it hasn't been a thing for a long time. Our niche is in its early stages. For example,
the first time I remember when I first started, right? And I was struggling. I was getting a lot of jobs, but it seemed like I didn't have a track record. So people, if they'd find me, it was through apps and stuff like that. And the hardest part I had was when I wanted to charge just a little bit more for stuff. I had people rejecting stuff that I thought was crazy. The first guy that really, I was like 2 or 3 months in, and I went to do an estimate. And I started to see, okay, some people look at this handyman thing like, you just a guy that ain't no specialist, you just a guy that you call for whatever, right? And I went to this guy's house. My man was like, okay, look, he walked around his house. I need a new ice machine put in. It's just sitting over here. I don't know how to do that. I got a couple of dead outlets that I need, and I'm not sure what's wrong with them. I need those replaced or fixed or whatever. So took me upstairs. The shower, he needed it re-caulked. And we know, I need all that corner. They put thin set in the corner. They put grout in the corner. I need all that scraped out because it's chipping, and new stuff in there. There's a laundry list of little, what some people consider little things. I don't consider a lot of them little things now, but at one time I would have. And I called him back, right? I didn't have any idea how to do it. I'm thinking it's gonna take me a day, and I was still working at the time, and I was like, okay, well, maybe $250. I know some of y'all trying to jump through the screen right now, choke me out. My apologies, man. You only know what you know what I'm saying? And this dude got an attitude on the phone and was like, $250, man, that's ridiculous. Man, I do it myself, and hung up.
And the answer to your question is yes, that man is still with us today. I guess he's still around, I don't know, man. I don't take offense, man. I told you, I learned when I was about 12 that human beings can be terrible. It can be mean to little kids asking for the money for the newspaper. You know what I mean? So the way I see it, to maximize profits, you're gonna have to run with one or the other. You're gonna have to just be the official professional jack of all trades. Nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, that is what the specialty is. I tell people all the time that, the whole jack of all trades, master of none. No. You're a specialist because you can do more than one trade. That's where it comes in. Now, the thing is, you gotta be able to do it to a professional level. When I take on a job or I go to do a job, I don't wanna do it and have the people looking at it sideways. To be all the jobs that I perform, I feel like I do them to a professional level. And that's really how I can maximize profits, because I'm doing all the parts of a job, but it's not like there's a part that looks subpar, or something like that, where people are like, okay, well, this is a handyman doing the work. No. Every single aspect is gonna look as professional as if you were to call the painter. What good is it to be the consummate professional handyman, and then the job is done and you paint, and the paint looks like trash once you're finished? What good is that? So if you're gonna go roll with the handyman title and you're gonna be the jack of all trades, that is wonderful. You just gotta make sure that you're a professional jack of all trades. It's great, you could be the guy doing the punch list. It's like the guy that do property management. That's kind of what they do. They do the punch list. You're gonna have to get your speed up, so your skill level is gonna have to, because you're not gonna be able to take time to just massage a job. It's gonna be about production. You're gonna have to knock one job out, go to another, knock another job out. And you can make really good money like that. Nothing wrong with it. I did it. I still do it. I do it all the time, so that's a big part. Maximize your profits. What's up, everybody? Daryl, also known as The Finisher. Hey, down here, y'all got me in the basement editing these videos, man. That's a lot of work. If y'all like this content, subscribe, hit that like button, man. Show some love and help us grow this content, man. It's Handyman 2.0, all right? The other way that you're going to be able to maximize your profits is to become a specialist at something. You can still do the a jack of all trades thing. Nothing wrong with that. You can still get out there and do the punch list and all that. But I highly advise you to develop some sort of skill that you can do custom work in. Because in every field, there are certain jobs that just pay more than everything else. I can put a couple wire racks in somebody's closet, and that's one thing. It's a whole nother thing for me to build a closet system from scratch. And custom shoe racks and everything else and paint. Prices for custom work, and people are willing to pay top dollar. One of the first ways I figured out how to maximize my profits was being a specialist. And I was struggling, and I decided to name myself a door specialist. I said, I'm doing door specialty work. Now, back then, I was on those apps, I was on some of those apps, and so what I did, I started taking leads as just doing door installation and door repair. When you're a specialist, you're finding people who are literally looking for that thing. They're not looking for a handyman. They're not looking for a contractor. They're looking for a door specialist, somebody who's gonna be able to install a door, somebody who's gonna be able to put a door in a place where a door might not be able to go. And that's what I was able to tap into. I got calls. I was putting brand new doors in houses that were like from 1916. And it's a lot of work, a lot of custom work. Houses where you can't find a door. You can't just go find a pre-hung door. I gotta build the door frame from scratch on site and just bring the wood and just work something out. And I was able to charge. The first time I ever did a custom style door installation, I think it was a one-day job, and it still wasn't enough how much I charged, but I think I charged, it was like $600 or $700 for this door. And it was, like I said, it was just a one-day job, and they bought all the materials. And I was shocked. I was totally shocked that I could actually charge that much. People had no problem paying it. It was still the fact, and I had to build the door jams, make new door jams myself and everything. So I was able to do it. That was the first time I actually made that much money in a day. Just totally blew my mind. I was able to change my whole business because I was a specialist in something. Then eventually the drywall repair came. I do repairs specifically. I don't do installs. So I don't do, you got a room that needs to be, I only focus on repairs. And I can charge a good amount, a really good amount for drywall repair. Having those specialties really boosts the business up. And you can combine both. And that's kind of what I do. I do a lot of small jobs sometimes, and then sometimes I do specialty work. And then I'll get in strings of both, where, people recommend me, and then people recommend me. I get a lot of people that recommend me for Crown or whatever. But then I'll take a job, somebody got a broken mailbox. I just run out there and do that real quick just because why not? Put a little money in your pocket, you know what I mean? Do what's best for you to maximize your profits. We got to do something. You got to choose something to make the most amount of money while you're out here doing this, because you don't want to do it and then be in 20 years and realize that you weren't charged enough. You just didn't make enough money. Like, your body's eventually is gonna turn on you. You know what I mean? It's just with time. It's just how it goes. You don't really want to do this 30, 40 years. Or at least if you're 30, 40 years in, you just want to be doing little stuff of what you want. You don't want to have to do this. Or how we're going to be able to leave when we want to instead of when we have to is we're going to charge enough, maximize our profits so we can build a small little empire for our family. You know what I mean? So, till next time, Daryl, also known as The Finisher, y'all stay safe and be blessed.
Whew. Man, that collar started out crispy in the morning. By the end of the day, that joint is flatlining. It's dead, man. My collar died.